Cave. I'm Dina Rico, and I'm so happy to see you. I'm sorry I'm all glowy and weird. I don't know why this keeps happening, but we shall persevere. Anyway, I hope that you guys are off to a great start to your week. I am really looking forward to taking some time off. But first, Stampin' Lips. I had a good weekend. My husband and I drove up to see my mom in Duluth, which was a long drive. And I have to giggle. What's happening here? There's some interesting comments. I need to check this out. Okay. So we were in the car for a long time. We drove so we have a little cabin, and we drove there on Thursday night, which was a couple hours, like 2.5 hours towards our final destination. Anyway, so we got there at like 8:30 at night. So it's starting to get dark, but not quite. And the first thing my husband does is break the key off into the lock. So that was fun. So as it turns out, well, luckily he had undone the deadbolt. But as it turns out, our house or our cabin is relatively easy to break into. So he broke in and we were able to stay the night, thank goodness, because I really didn't think we were going to. When we walked in, though, it was just a nice cool 90 inside. And somewhere, I think around 4 a.m., it finally cooled off. But oh my gosh, it's a little, like, basically one room log cabin. So it holds the heat really well, which is great in the winter, but not so much in the summer. So that was really quite a night. and then we drove the rest of the way to see my mom after we got a new lock set for the door. And then we also got we mowed down all the weeds in the gravel driveway. So the joys of all of that. Oh yeah, Audrey, believe me, I didn't really sleep. My husband seemed to pretty well, but I couldn't. I was so, like, I just tossed and turned and tossed and turned and tossed and turned. And like we had fans on and everything, but it just was miserable. So anyway, we also vacuumed up like 2 canisters of bugs, so that was great. It's pretty rustic. So anyway, that was just lovely. And then we stayed. So then we went from that to a ridiculously overpriced hotel room in Duluth, because apparently in the summer everything there is obscenely priced. So that it was a nice hotel, and I actually slept pretty well there, but it was just a sweaty, buggy mess, cobwebby, you know. But I'm looking forward to going back next week, I guess this week, and enjoying the fruits of our labors. So the weeds are mowed, the bugs are vacuumed, the cobwebs have been taken down. It should be good. There's a new key for a new lock on the door, so we're all good. I just have to giggle about all that. It's always something up there. I mean, nothing major, just little dumb things that are kind of a pain to deal with sometimes, and you just want to relax. But we do actually have air conditioning there, but by the time it cools off, it takes forever for it to cool off, even in the one room. So we didn't even bother because we knew it wouldn't cool down until we were pretty much ready to leave. So that was, would have been a waste. Anywho, I hope that you are here to just have some nice, relaxing fun today and enjoy being in a nice, relaxing place. Because that's what we're all about here at the Creativity Cave. I've got some fun projects for us to make that I hope you're going to enjoy. One is inspired by my pots um, of geraniums that I have talked about with you guys before. They're still going, so that is really impressive. I'm proud of myself for keeping them alive all all of this time. I mean, it's been like at least a month and a half, maybe closer to two. So I'm really proud of myself. I'll have to actually, maybe I did take a picture of them the other day. I had, I wanted to prove to my sister that I hadn't killed them yet. And I don't think I've actually, I can't remember if I sent the picture or not. So anyway, and then I should probably post the picture of my mom, I guess. It sounds bad, sorry. Did I take another picture of my pots? I thought I had because I was really impressed that they were still alive after I went on my trip, out to Utah a couple weeks ago. Do, 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 do. I'm looking on my phone. Oh, I have a picture of a nice green salad. That looks good. But I don't think I took a picture of my pots. Well, that was dumb. Um, but anyway, I'm really proud that I've kept them alive thus far. So yay me. I really have. They're now, in all fairness, the Gerber daisies are pretty much dead now. And I don't know, I feel like there's just something really complicated about keeping Gerber daisies alive longer than a month. I'm not sure if that's possible. Maybe if you have a PhD in Gerber daisies, you can, but I can't. So I don't know. What color are the geraniums? They are like, I would describe them as melon mambo. Gerber daisies are hard to care for. Okay, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I feel better about it. It's just tricky when you think you can do something that seems easy, but you can't. That would be gardening as a whole. Despite my degree in biology, I really struggle with keeping plants alive. I've kept my kids alive for over 20 years, like one of them. The other one over 16 years. So not bad. We drove home yesterday and we drove separately because we picked up a car for my son. My mom actually sold us her car and she's not using it anymore. It's a cute little Honda Insight, which is kind of like a Prius. It's little and gets amazing gas mileage. So we were driving home yesterday, and I think that the trip from Duluth to Iowa is mostly downhill because I got really good mileage in my car. And maybe the wind was blowing us. I don't know. But I was all impressed with my mileage because I got like 36 miles. And if there was ever a time to get great gas mileage, it's right now, of course. Anyway, so I was bragging to my husband. He's like, well, I got 47. And I was like, fine. And so then we tell Carl this, and he's so excited because he has to pay for his own gas. And he likes driving around with his friends. And there's just not enough money in this world to be able to do that with your friends right now. So, anywho, okay. So let's see. Do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think so. I feel like there's a little something, but I don't know. I hate that. I'm not sure. But oh, I know. Well, I don't know. Did we do anything silly this weekend? We actually, one more quick story, because you know me, I have to tell you stories. We went to, so I'm with my mom and her husband, and we were driving around a little bit. Like we drove along the north shore of Lake Superior, which is kind of a thing. And we went to Betty's Pies. Have you guys ever heard of Betty's Pies? Oh my gosh, somebody just asked if gas prices were high in the US. Yeah, highest they've ever been by a lot. Like, um, I would say a couple years ago they were probably half or less than they are now. Um, Yours actually came down a little to 445. I think we paid 479 driving home, and I live in a part of the country where it's probably pretty cheap in comparison to like California. I would say California is probably $7 plus, depending on where you are. So yeah, where we are, it's relatively inexpensive. Um, so okay, good. You guys know about Betty's Pies. So Betty's Pies is a whole thing, and we ate lunch there, and then we were full, so we didn't have any pie. And I have to laugh. We just didn't. So yeah, I don't know. And we didn't want to take any with us because then we went on a little boat tour. It wasn't 3 hours. It was just like an hour, a little over an hour. So we didn't want to leave it in the car, and so we just didn't get anybody's pies. But we were there. It was a cute little place. Oh my goodness, Northern Georgia is only $4. That's a great deal. Yeah, so you're getting a rundown of the nation's gas prices. You're welcome. Um, then la la la. What was I going to say? Oh, so then after we went on a little boat tour, and we went to this Italian place that was so unbelievably good. Oh my gosh. I think, what was it called? Something, it was two words that were not very short. Let me look in my GPS log because that'll tell me where it was. Vabine. It was just like a little restaurant, but we got to sit out on the deck overlooking the lake, and that was really nice. And the meal was like unbelievable. It was probably the best meal I've had in a long time, and the 2 glasses of wine I had did not hurt anything. It was delightful. So anyway, we had a great time. Oh my gosh. Why? Every time. Why? Okay, hold on. Ugh. Let's see what we can do about this. Okay. Then, there we go. Okay. All right. So we should be okay. Okay. So anyway, great weekend. All right. So a couple of things going on right now. First off, I've got 2 classes that come out this week. I'm so excited for them. One is the birthday. Actually, I'm going to flip my camera around because then I've got stuff to show you and I've got my visuals. You know how it is. So give me 1 second. I'm going to flip my camera. Ooh. Sorry. I just pulled this out of my little holder. There we go. Oh, goodness, that was tricky. Okay. I know, right? Judy, it's like you are in the wrong place for that. Don't you know this is women crafting? Anyway, so I have 2 classes coming out this month. I'm very excited about them. I've got this birthday piggy, which is just super cute, sweet, fun, happy cards featuring this birthday piggy stamp set. We'll also be using the fabulous frames dies, and the cards are just adorable. So I'd love to have you join us for that. The kit makes 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs, and then I always give you alternatives because I'm extra like that. And this is coming out this week. Also, my Nature's Prints online class is coming out. Oh my gosh, I love these cards so much. This is a really wonderful class, no matter
I was going to say no matter who you are. I was going to say for any occasion type cards. They're really great cards, and I'm very excited about them. This is the class I do with my besties, Barb and Kelly. So that's coming out this week. Also, the Heart and Home All-Star tutorial is my gift to you when you spend $50 or more in my online store. So you can get this gift through the end of the month for free, or you can purchase it for $15. It includes 12 project tutorials that have videos, photos, and dimensions in both English and metric units, which is pretty handy. And then this month's, you have until the end of this month to register for my Sunshine and Creativity Delivered box, which is going to be on Stampin' Blend techniques. And oh my gosh, I'm giddy about this one. Well, first of all, I always love the projects that we create in our Sunshine and Creativity Delivered box, but this month is another kind of special box with the Stampin' Blends techniques. We will talk about tips on how to shade and color in and shade with Stampin' Blends, but we'll also do additional techniques that are different featuring our Stampin' Blends. And so it's going to be a really great box. If you are not subscribed to this, I really encourage you to do so. By the way, all the links for all of this stuff can be found in the description of my video. In addition to that, I also have my holiday catalog paper shares are available. Ooh, I don't think I have a holiday catalog here with me. I bet it's on my desk. So the holiday catalog comes out on Friday. Yay. So it's going to be it's a really great catalog. There's a lot of holiday stuff, but there's a lot of not holiday stuff in there. And a paper share is a great way to get an assortment of all the papers so that you can enjoy them, figure out which ones you want to buy whole packages of, and just enjoy all the papers without having to spend an arm and a leg. So you can get registered for that, and I will place that first order on Friday to get us going. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Also, I mentioned last time, sorry, I don't have a visual for this, but I'm closing in on my $2 million sales mark with Stampin' Up. I'm hoping to achieve that by the end of September, which is the end of our Stampin' Up year. So I would love to do that. So if you need to purchase anything, I would be so grateful if you would order with me. I would be just so very grateful. So anyway, check out my online shop in the description of this video here for you. So I'm excited about it. It's been a work of a labor of love, that is for sure. Not a work of love, a labor of love. That is definitely for sure. I love what I do, and I've been working really hard at this. So I'm hoping to kind of chill a little bit after I hit that mark, just to relax a little. But don't you worry. I have plenty of stuff planned, including things coming up this summer, as well as some fun things for this fall. So the most exciting thing that's coming up in the short term, though, is the new holiday kickoff party. We have a really great lineup of fun planned for you with this event. If you've never done a kickoff with us, it is $15 and the best money you'll spend. And it's also free for members of our Stamp Happy Academy subscribers. Anyway, this is an event that goes on for about 2 weeks, and there are 7 live videos. There are galleries of samples. There's card challenges. There's prizes. There are prize giveaway prizes, and then prizes for our card challenge. We're going to do a card swap. All kinds of fun stuff is associated with this event. So if you are not a part of it, you are missing out, and you need to get registered. Again, all that is in the description of this video. So anyway, I'm so hoping that you are having fun with Stampin' Up, and let's get started stamping. I've got a lot of ways to make stamping really fun, so I hope that you will partake in them. So first off, today I thought we'd start with a card that you can really do a lot of different ways, and maybe we'll do several. But this is a great way to play with some fun stuff, some fun designs. So one of the things that I love to do when I get a stamp set is look at the versatility of it. Like, what can I make with this stamp set? And the Graceful Tiles set is a really great stamp set, in my personal opinion, because there is a lot of stuff you can do with this. It's a really lovely stamp set. There's lots of cool kind of graphic-y design images in it, which I love. And I think there's a lot of different things that you can do with this stamp set. In addition to that, there are a lot of really wonderful sentiments that come with this set. And so I think that is, a lot of fun to kind of play with a set like this and really bring it to life, so to speak. Okay. So this first card I want to make for someone special in my life. Actually, a couple people, to be completely honest. So I have two like super amazing, awesome, fabulous helpers, and I should say three. One is brand new, so we're still getting to know her, but she's doing a great job so far. And then my two kind of old timers, they are really tremendous. And one of them in particular has been with me since I hit my $1 million in sales. And so I can't imagine how I could have done this second million without her. So anyway, that being said, I want to make a cute little card for her. So here we are with Graceful Tiles. Now, what drew me to that is because it says, well, first of all, I love this. So glad you live in my little corner of the world. That part's true because she does help me, and she does live nearby. But this one I really like. Because of you, I laugh a little harder, cry a little less, and smile a lot more. And she is for sure the embodiment of that sentiment. And then I just love all these different sentiments. A happy anniversary is another one where we just don't have that many sets with happy anniversary in it. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, so we're going to make a really simple card, but I want to kind of make it a few different ways with you, if you don't mind. And then you can tell me which versions of it you like the best. So I've got some 4x5 1/4 inch panels. So we'll just kind of play with this a little bit. So the first thing that came to mind when I saw this was, okay, I could stamp this in like a nice neutral color, and then we can either add little colorful embellishments or accents, I guess, to add color. So I'm going to start with some smoky slate ink. It's a nice light color that's kind of neutral. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to take this one because it's kind of the biggest image. So I'm going to stamp my images on here like so. All right, so I just kind of have them on here like so, and then maybe I'll add one like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my one sentiment and put it across here like so. And it says, sending love your way. Okay. And so I'll pop this up. By the way, hopefully Whitney's not watching this. Shh, don't tell her. I don't think she watches my videos too much, so. Anyway, okay, so now we've got these nice, lovely gray images, right? But we need to make them kind of more fun. So there's a lot of different ways we could do that. The first way, well, first of all, you can either choose a color that or a color combination that you like, or you can kind of vary it with lots of different color combinations. It really does not matter too much. Either way it works. So having said that, I think I'm going to use I've got my Tahitian Tide. I've got Orchid Oasis. And then I'm going to grab, because this is not it, Parakeet Party. Okay, so this is just kind of a fun, happy color combination. Okay, so to start with, I can take my Tahitian Tide. Sorry. Oh, goodness, I keep grabbing the wrong marker. And I can color in some of these little bits on here. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat what I'm doing on that first one on this bottom one, so they're the same. So I've got my dark Tahitian Tide, and then I'm going to do my light Tahitian Tide here. Okay, so they probably look almost the same. Oh my gosh, I can't even color inside the lines either. Yikes. And then I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go on this largest area, but I'm going to take my color lifter and kind of blend so it's a little lighter. So I'm using the light. So I started with the dark. I did the next rung with the light, and I'm going to do the light, and then I'm going to color lifter it lighter. Do you like that? I'm going to color lifter it lighter. That's totally a saying too, by the way, in case you were concerned. Now, oftentimes when I use the color lifter, I feel like it's kind of like a magic marker where you don't really see the effects at first. It takes a minute for it to kind of show up. And by magic marker, I mean like invisible ink or something, not an actual magic marker. Okay. So when I look at this, I can see this is darkest. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. And then this, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a little bit lighter on the edges. Anyway, I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Then on this next one, I'm going to take, oh, that is light. I'm going to take my dark. I was like starting with my dark, and I'm going to just kind of do this little inside section of this. And then continue with my light. See if we can stay in the lines. Oh my gosh, seriously, you guys, it's hard. So hard, I don't know. I think because this one isn't really like an image. And then just to make it a little easier, I'm going to put a dot on these little spots. There is a dot in a couple of these, but I'm going to add the dot here just to kind of carry the design through. Okay, so that looks all right. And then this one we're going to do in our Parakeet Party. So we'll start with the dark. And I'm going to go 2 dark dots. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going over the dots. Oh my gosh, I just missed a couple. Seriously. I don't know why this is so hard, you guys. I'm usually pretty good. And then here's my light. And then once again, I'll kind of go over that biggest dot with my color lifter. And then the last couple dots we'll do like so. And okay, here we go. Color that in with the color lifter just to lighten it up a little bit. There we have it. Okay, so now we've effectively colored these. I mean, it's pretty basic coloring, nothing too fancy, but it looks kind of cool. And I think this, I just need to put a little circle in the center because it looked weird. There you go. And of course that was my light and I meant to do dark, but it doesn't matter. All right, so I think we're there. Now what I want to do is add this. Well, actually, I'm not going to add this to my card base quite yet because we're going to vote on whichever one you guys like the most. But I am going to add my sentiment to this. Of course, we're popping it up. I mean, as if you even had to ask, obviously. So I'm putting my dimensionals on here. Okay, like so. And then I'll just trim this off. And isn't the back pretty? Oh, it looks nice. Okay, so there we go. And I think I'm going to snip that end off as well. Okay, so there is one option. Now don't worry, we've got more options. And we can put some like rhinestones or something on here. Next up, what if we just stamped those different designs in those different colors? So that would be kind of a pretty alternative to this, to using the neutral gray color. So let me clean off my stamps quick. And then we'll take those 3 colors of ink and stamp them down. Okay, so we'll start with that one up there. And then we'll do this one. Like so, and then we're gonna add that one down here like before. Okay, so these are just the colors. So that one is, you know, simple and lovely. I'm still gonna stamp my sentiment in my smoky slate that I just dropped. So this is one of my kind of favorite color combos with this new set of in colors. There are lots, but I really like the neutral basic or smoky slate with this. I think it looks really lovely. And then we'll put this on. And then we're going to try one other method for doing this that I think you guys are going to like. And by the way, we haven't embellished anything yet. We'll do that kind of at the end at the same time. Okay. And then here's one other, one other version of this. Actually, I'm going to clean again because I changed my mind on how I was going to do this. So I'll start with clean stamps. And of course, there's other images in this set that we can certainly play around with, but okay, so I'm repeating this with my smoky slate once again. Just this is kind of like our first one, but we're going to color it a little differently. So for this one, I'm going to grab some what are they called? Sponge daubers. That seriously was like the hardest word to think of. Whew. Yikes. Okay, so I'm going to take some sponge daubers and add some color to this. Okay, just like before. And because these are brand new, I'm going to kind of saturate the color in here just a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to kind of start real dark and then sort of blend out to light. Now you could do this with a blending brush too if you wanted, but what I love about the sponge dauber is that it really is precise, and it starts with kind of, it's that smaller circle, if you know what I mean. So we'll start in the middle, and then we're kind of blending our way out. That kind of stayed really dark. Oh well. This is a little more of what I was hoping for with that first one. But live and learn. Okay. And then, of course, Orchid Oasis. Okay, so there we go. Ooh, I just thought of another way we can do this card. You're welcome. Okay, so we've got that coloring method. Again, we're going to still embellish. We haven't embellished yet. But I'm just having too much fun to stop, so. And I think I might do a couple of, well, actually, I've got another sentiment in here. I was going to say, I knew I'd be making a bunch of these, so I've got some more sentiments, so they're not all exactly the same sentiment. Okay. So then the next one, I got the idea based on making this one, and I'll show you what that is. Just 1 second. Okay, but this next one, I'm gonna need a couple of punches. Now you can do this with dies or punches or whatever you want. So I'm gonna pull, let's see, just what I've got handy here. Now these are retired, so if you don't have them, you can use dies and get the exact same result. Okay, so this is a 1 3/4 inch circle. And then this is going to be a 1 inch circle. Okay. So for this, let's see. I'm going to start with a blending brush. And we're going to just kind of add some color on here. Now I'm using vellum for this because vellum is kind of plasticky. I don't even know what vellum is actually made out of, but what I love about it is it won't get saturated with ink the way that cardstock would, so I can use this, you know, multiple times over and over, and it will hold up with my circles. Okay, so there we've got 3 circles. Okay. And then let's see, I'm going to repeat this. With a different color that had some dirt, not dirt, but I don't know what it had on it. Something. Fuzz. Don't worry, I got it. Okay. It was kind of funny this weekend. My mom knows what I do, but I think she struggles, let's just say technically, to understand how to find what I do. Like, she couldn't search up videos of me, I don't think, if she tried. So I was showing her a video I made, and I was giggling because I was listening to it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just terrible listening to myself do a video. And actually, I really liked the card and the project I was showing. It was a video that I think posted on Friday on my YouTube channel, but it just was like kind of gross listening to it. I don't know why, because I mean, I do this all the time, but I guess I don't really sit and listen to my videos all that often, so this was kind of like, ugh. I don't know, I suppose it's like when you hear your voice on a recording or something, and you're just like, blah. Okay, so then we've got these. Now, think I'm going to do the next one with my green, my parakeet, and the smaller circle. And we're going to overlap a little bit. And ooh, doesn't this look fun? Fun, 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 fun. And that looks pretty good. Okay, then I've got enough room, so I'm going to pop out another 1-inch circle over here. And we're going to do that in Tahitian Tide again. Would the new decorative circle punch look good? Well, it just might. I didn't want to do that in this only because we're going to use the stamps to kind of add another layer, and I didn't want it to get too busy. You could try it though, for sure. Okay, I wanted that one to be a little darker. Maybe this one can go a little darker too. There we go. Just so it's kind of dimensional. Okay, now we've got all these. So we can take our same stamped images and stamp them yet one more time. Kind of like what we did before. And we'll stamp them over these circles. And I'm not really paying attention to this super well, so they're kind of out of order, which that is what it is. But there we go, and I think I'm going to add one more up here, like that. Okay, so that's kind of fun. And then we're going to continue to do our sentiment just in the same way we did before on a little scrap of white that I have left over. Okay, so now the important process takes place, which is embellishing these. And we're going to do a couple different embellishments. But what I want to know is which layout you like. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this is 4. But let's get everything done first. Because you might change your mind. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. All right, so for the first embellishment, I gotta close these up. Okay, but you can't vote yet. You have to wait until you have all the information. Okay. So we have different embellishments that we can use on here. Okay, so first off, I'm going to do some black dots to really punch out the color. Okay. Gwen, you're new. Well, welcome. My name is Dina Rico, and I am the Creativity Cave. We're so excited you're here. I'm live Mondays at 5 p.m. Central. It's now 5:43. And we're still on our first card, but our first card is actually 4. So thank you for coming here today. Okay, so there's some black matte dots, which are lovely. Okay, then this one, I'm feeling like these could be the matte. Well, I was kind of thinking matte dots on that very first one. So maybe we'll do some iridescent rhinestones. You know I love these. Oh my goodness, they are just the best. They coordinate with everything. And so that just adds a nice little touch. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, then I've got on this one, I think I'm going to do some iridescent pearls, totally different. These are pretty too. By the way, if you guys are having fun, could you give me the thumbs up? That rocks my world. Because the YouTube, they really like it when you do that. Okay, so I'm going to put little pearls on the smaller ones and then big pearls, well, a big pearl on the biggest one here. Okay, so there's that. And then our last one is this one, and I'm going to use matte dots. I know, right? The YouTube. They do. It's true. The YouTube does like it. It's just like the Facebook. They like it too. Okay, so on here, I'm going to use these matte dots. Now, they kind of come in an array of colors, so you can choose whichever ones you want. They're sort of, they get lighter to darker, so I'm actually going to use my darkest one, which I just flicked off my thing here. There we go. Put my darkest one down here, and then I'll put almost as the darkest one. Oh, let's get my take your pick tool all tackied up. There we go. Now she's working. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Okay, so now the basic premise of this is that it's just going to go on a white card. So it's pretty simple, but there is one. This is 2, 3, and 4. So which do you like the best? And I mean, they'll all be cards, but anyway. Okay, so as the golfers say, 4. Thank you, Patricia. Still 4, Judy. Thank you. 4, 4, 4, 4, 2. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2. 4, 4, 4, 4, 2. Whew. I guess it's 4 or 2. Not much love for 3. Message received. And I think this was 2, and then this was 4. But you know what? My favorite is still 1. But that's okay. I mean, just because you guys are all wrong. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we've got 2 and 4. I still personally like the 1. And then this is 3, which apparently there's 0 love for 3 because nobody said 3. That's fine. We can handle that. Someone mentioned splatter. I would agree. This card needs some splatter. I think I will do black just because, and I'm going to do it with, let me close up this ink pad. I'm going to do it probably only on, well, let's see. Actually, on these 2, I'll do black, and on the other 2, I will do basic gray. I think that will work. Okay. So there we go. There's your splatter. I got a little aggressive there, not going to lie. But we could maybe tone it down with some, oh, this was, with some Winkostella. I think this Winkostella is like on her last legs. We'll see if we can get some splatter out of her, and then we might need to retire her. She's seen a lot of good days. Not much is happening, but I think enough. I'm just gonna toss her. Okay, and then let's see, Smoky Slate. Let's do Smoky Slate on these 2. I wanted something a little more subtle for these. There we go. That's good because it didn't go too crazy. So there we go. Okay, so I think the votes are in, and it looks like y'all like 4, so fine. We can put your 4 together, and it'll be okay, and let the record show I like 1. But the majority is spoken. I will listen. So there you go. So this one we made with a mask by punching circles, or you can die cut circles out of some vellum cardstock and just sponging them with our blending brushes. This one we put the color on with a sponge dauber. We stamped the image and then sponge daubered the centers. This one we just stamped in color. And then this one we stamped in gray and smoky slate, I should say. And we colored with some Stampin' Blends. And then I put colored dots in the center. I do like all of them, but the perfect day to celebrate. And then on the inside, ooh, you can add a sentiment. Actually, the inside sentiment from this set that I was going to use. Actually, I'm going to finish up my number one because that was my favorite. The inside sentiment that I'm going to use is actually going to be, there's my bone folder. Again, it's from this set, but it goes nicely with what I was hoping to convey. And I seem to have lost my ink pad once again. In all my embellishing, oh no, here it is. I gotta put all my pads away. And then what I also wanted to do is there's this little set of 3. There we go. Well, I've already made a complete mess of my desk, but that's all right. There's this little set of 3 that I can use for the inside here. And I'm just going to stamp this off. So it's a little lighter. And we'll put it right there. And that will be my number one. Okay, but I'll take pictures of all 4 of them and put them on my blog so that you can see them all complete. But just a really simple card design. Actually, I really don't like how this looks. So we're gonna fix it, and let me show you how. So I'm gonna put a layer on top of this. I'm gonna stamp my sentiment once again on here. Full strength. And then I'm going to take the ink that's left on here and stamp that once again. Ooh, that was even too light, darn it. Figures. Okay, we're going to stamp it off once again. And then I'm going to stamp it on here over everything. And I like that better. Okay. I love it. See, one is growing on you. You guys just have to give it time. You guys saw all the bright colors and you were all impressed with the bright colors, but sometimes simple, sometimes less is more. You know me. I love a little color or a little neutral with a splash of color on a white card. Anyway, there you go. So, but as promised, card number 3 was the official winner. We did put some shimmer on here, though you can't see it that great. But anyway, there you go. So that was basically one card design, and we did 4 different cards. Now, of course, you could change up the colors on here and do different color combinations, pinks, yellows, shades of aqua, rainbows, whatever floats your boat. But this was kind of just a fun little experiment. Okay, so our next card is going to be a pretty big change of pace from this one. I have been itching to use the Better Days stamp set since it arrived here, and so I thought we would work with this set next. Now, this is a really nice stamp set. And I saw a sign near Two Harbors, Minnesota, which is way up north, that inspired me to use this stamp set. Just trying to, very not graciously, I'm trying to grab my Stamparatus out of my drawer, and man, was that tricky. Okay, so I've got my Stamparatus, and we are going to, we're going to do a little stamping with this. Of course, I'm struggling. Oh, here it is. I was going to say, I'm struggling to find the my little mat that goes in here because I'm going to use a photopolymer stamp on here. But what I want to do is I want to use the Better Days stamp set. And there's this great big kind of window shape that fits on here. And so I want to use this on my card. Now, I've been kind of struggling. I guess I'm going to use white cardstock, but I don't know. I wasn't sure if white was the right color for this, but I think it will have to be. So I'm going to just kind of position that on here like so. We'll use our little magnets. Here's my other magnet to hold this into place, and then we're going to stamp that down. Kind of centered up on here. I think that looks pretty good, but I always like to test it out with my, that is pretty much spot on, so we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna ink this up with some black ink. You can use Memento, you can use stays on, whatever, it doesn't matter. In this case, I'm going to stamp the little pieces in here. I'm not going to be using blends or anything, so the ink is not super critical here, but got a good impression. And I feel like I can get a little darker by stamping over this once again, and that is kind of the beauty of using my Stamparatus. Look, press on that again, and voila. Oh. Okay, so we've got our little sunshine, and then we've got our layers here. Now what's pretty cool about this is the layers come as separate stamps, so we can stamp them right on here like so. So the biggest test is to come up with 3 colors that you like next to one another. Okay, so I'm actually going to grab a little scrap of paper that I have sitting here, and I'm going to kind of test my layers out before I stamp them down. So I was thinking I would use some of, this is Orchid Oasis, and then next up I could, actually, is that the next one? No, it is not. This is the next one. Then the next one I could do like Bermuda Bay. And then the next one, ooh, I guess it could be, well, I want it, oh, such a tricky choice. I've got, and that's not stamped very well, but I like the color combination together. So I've got Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, and Orchid Oasis. I could switch this one. I could, let's do one more quick test. So I'm going to stick with the Coastal. Then I'm going to switch to Orchid right here. And these are not to scale or whatever. And then I could do instead Starry Sky on the bottom one. So which do you like better, this one or this one? I kind of like that one better, but maybe that one's better. What do you think, the top or the bottom version of colors? Let me know. Top, top, bottom, 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 top. Starry Sky, that would be top. Top, 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 bottom. Oh my gosh. Bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, top. Okay, I'm feeling like bottoms have it. Bottom, 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 bottom. Definitely bottoms have it. Okay, so we're going to do the bottom one. All right, don't you like how we have the voting? It's just kind of fun. All right, well, now I got to clean my stuff, but let me quick clean off these stamps. And then we shall go to town. All right, well, my one I can leave. Okay, so I am going to start working at the bottom and work my way up. Just making sure my stamp is not full of water from my thingy. Okay, now what's nice is the outlines give you a little bit of leeway so that if you're not exactly perfect, you're going to live. Okay, so there was Orchid Oasis. Next up we have Bermuda Bay. Okay, I got a little outside the lines there, but we're going to soldier on. Next up we've got some Coastal Cabana. Ooh, looks good. Okay, now we need to do something about this sunshine. So we're definitely going to put some Daffodil Delight on here. Like that. And that looks lovely. And then I feel like we need to kind of increase the color vibrancy. So I'm actually going to take my Stampin' Blends. I said we weren't going to use them, but here I am using them. And I'm going to do a dark line on the short line. I used Memento ink, so we're good to go here. All right, and I think this is really going to kind of help. And then I'm going to do a light. This is the light marker on the longer lines, and I'm just kind of going over it. And I think that's bringing out a little more yellow in this, which I think is going to be a good thing. There we go. So that looks really pretty. Okay, now one of the things that I think we actually need here is we need to make a mask. Now we've got this masking paper, and I'm not even going to tell you one single lie about this. I've never used it. But we're going to give it a shot and see how it works. I have zero experience with this, you guys, except that I took it out of the package. So I don't even know if I'm using this correctly, but I have it sitting here and I think we should try. So I'm just going to stamp this down on here with the ink that's kind of left over. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this off. And here's what I want to do. I want this space, I want to be able to add some color here in the background. And so I'm hoping that this will allow me to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just make a slit in here. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to kind of cut around this sun in hopes that we can kind of use that in a minute. But what I really want to do is cut on the edge of the frame. So if I totally mess this up, hopefully you guys won't judge me too badly. Because like I said, I haven't even like sought out information on how this works. I just bought some and I opened the package. That's literally all I've done. But I feel like we can figure it out together. This, of course, is definitely not recommended for doing live videos, is trying out a product for the first time. But here we go. I'm just going to trim that a little better on the line. Okay, so here is potentially our mask. You take off the little backing. Now, I do think I heard somewhere you should put it on your clothes so that it's not as sticky as it might be. So there, we put it on our clothes. And we're just going to cover that up slightly and stick it down. I think we're okay. But see how I can see how this might stick more than you want it to, but because we put it on our clothes, we're okay. There we go. Ooh, someone said it's very forgiving. That is good to know. I just want to line this up with the black line of the frame. I don't want there to be any I had it on there better before. Ugh. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. Okay, there we go. All right, we've got it on there. Okay, then I've got a few Post-it notes because I didn't really plan the position of this super well. So I just want to make sure I don't get ink outside of the mask. So I'll just kind of add a couple Post-it notes to this. We should be good to go. But, okay, now, where was that testing paper? I'm going to take, I've got some ink. Yeah, that'll work. What's left, I wanted to test it against the, this is Coastal Cabana. I've got Tahitian Tide on here, and those two colors don't necessarily go together, but what we're doing is just putting a little bit of color down. And that reminds me, what did I do with this? Now this is the sun, and I'm going to use this as a mask too. I fear, however, getting this backing off might be a teensy bit tricky. Where's my take your pick tool? There we go. All right, so we're gonna just add some light color on here, not dark, light color. And we've kind of got our sun protected. We've got the frame protected, and then we've added some color here. Okay, are we ready for the big reveal? Ooh, I like it. I carefully am removing my mask because I should be able to use this again. And for storage purposes, I'm just going to position this inside my case so that I've got it here when I'm ready to use it again. And I should be able to just kind of pull it off like that. Okay, and here's the big reveal. Boom. Oh, so cool. So this is our new masking paper from the catalog. Does anybody know what page it's on? Andy, you guys are sometimes really good with that. You've got it out ready to go. But it's in the catalog. masking paper, $149. This is it. You get 12 sheets. And then it says, see the product in use on page 18. Let's do that. Let's take a look at page 18. Oh, I see. They used this with a like a stitched rectangle so that you'd have a border. I get it. Cheryl, I knew you were going to be able to tell me. Okay, so there we have it on here. This isn't quite centered. I might trim just a little off of this. But this is, I think, really pretty. Okay. And now let's get rid of this stuff. Let's turn this into a lovely card, because I think that's what we need here. I was thinking that this set sure would have been cool with some dies. Like we could have like die cut each of these pieces and put it in a frame. Wouldn't that have been cool? I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. Okay, so like I said, let's put this into a card. I'm thinking that I love this and this. Ooh. Ooh. Judy says it would be easy to fussy cut. I don't know, Judy. That kind of sounds like a lot of work. I'm not sure if I'm up to fussy cutting all that. But you, girl, you get it. Okay, so I'm going to make my panel just a little smaller at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And that way I'll be able to layer it up on this. Well, it probably is easier than flowers. I will give you that. Okay, so then I'm going to put it on a 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4, yeah. Panel, and then onto our card, which is Orchid Oasis. Okay, so we'll take and add this, but we want a sentiment. Now there's some really nice sentiments that come in here, but I want something else because it's my card and I can. So I was thinking actually from the Cup of Tea stamp set, I love the Take Care of Yourself. I think it's a nice sentiment that we could add to this and it would be just lovely. And I also love the font on this oh so much. So I think this just all works out. And I think we'll do it in black. Yes, this is Bermuda Bay cardstock for our layer and Orchid Oasis. Okay, now there's one other thing. The stamp has this, or the stamp set has this one image that's kind of cool. It's this one. So what if we took that? Oh dear, where'd the rest of my stamp set go? Of course it's missing. Here it is. We could take that and add it to our card and it might be kind of fun. Just a little something different. I think I'm going to put it on that block. Ooh. I'm going to use my little T-square here. Actually, I got to do it on this side because otherwise I will block my image. By the way, I don't know if you guys need to make like weird mouth noises when you stamp, but it's like sticking your tongue out. You just kind of got to do it. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So nice. Okay, and then I'm just going to wipe that black ink right off my desk. And we're going to add this to our card. Okay, but what I want to do is maybe take my scissors. Oh, here they are. And kind of rough up my edges a little bit. Not a lot, like, but just kind of add a little texture. So I'm just dragging the blade. You just want to be careful. No cutting oneself inadvertently. As is our policy here. You get hurt, stay hurt. We'll do this edge as well. Okay. And then we'll add this to our card. I don't even know if I like this. What do you guys think? I feel like I really wish I could stamp. I wish maybe what I should have done is cut this whole thing out and stuck it on like a crumb cake panel or something. I don't know. It's too white for my personal taste, but I don't know. I guess this gives me a place to start from, and then I can look to change it up. Okay. But I got a little schmutz on here, so what I was thinking, I could fix that with a little linen thread. So I'm just gonna see if I can get my linen thread through here. And then we'll tie a little bow over on the far side here. And maybe we should not even put the linen thread through there. Maybe we should just tie the bow and stick the bow on. I'm doing a double length of my linen thread. Okay, well, thank you guys. I still don't know what I think. But it's all right. It's not probably my best masterpiece, but it's also not the worst thing I've ever made either. I don't like that either. This is sort of the day I've been having too, I feel like. Maybe I just need shorter ends on my bow. Oh, for goodness sakes. Come on, bow, just look good. Is that so much to ask? Maybe I make my loops bigger. Does that look dumb? What do you guys think? I can't decide. Go without. Okay, there you go. Do some splatter. Yeah, I'm with you on the no bow. It's just sad to see. Well, I got some splatter on there. I don't know if that made it better. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Probably not my best work, but it's all right. I really like this. I just don't like how my card turned out. But yeah. Okay. So there we go. All right. And our last card is going to be a fun one. And it will be kind of quick and easy because I pre-cut my pieces. So that should make it nice. So I've been itching, as I alluded to this earlier in my live, I've been itching to use this potted geraniums stamp set since I potted geraniums this year, like a whole person who makes pots of flowers. Like that's like a whole thing, but I've actually never really successfully done it. And I was mentioning at the beginning that my pots are still alive. So I was pretty proud of that. Now, full disclosure, the Gerber daisies did not make it through. They have pretty well upped and kicked the bucket, but such is life. It happens to the best of us, but it is what it is. So anyway, oh, interesting. This came off. But anyway, so I wanted to pay homage to this. I just love it. Okay, so next up, what I want to do is take and make a pretty little flower card out of this set for you guys. Now, the pots that I have out front are that kind of beautiful blue color. And so I have, well, I made one, but I think I might change it. And you guys, since we're all about the voting today, you guys can tell me which one you like best for the pot. Okay, so I've got a piece of Tahitian Tide, and what I did is I took the pot bottom and stamped it in Tahitian Tide, and then I did the detail on top in my orchid. Okay. So there's that. But we could also do it this way, where we stamped this in orchid. And then we did the detail in Starry Sky. So we have the peak of Tahitian Tide cardstock. And then the ink is the darker. Ooh, I think I might like this best because really all that, the lighter color that you see on my pots is just in those little cracks. So I kind of like this. So I'm actually, we're not even voting because I've decided that's what we're going to do, but I got to cut it out quick. So anyway, oh, what did I do with my dies? Oh, here they are. I was going to say, oh my gosh, don't tell me I've lost them on my desk. My desk is quite a disaster at this moment. So let me quick die cut this, and then we'll do our card. Okay, so here we go. I did not die cut this particularly well, but that's what happens when you're on camera. Okay, so I have a gray granite card base and some gray granite, a layer of gray granite on here, which I just love. And cut my Gerber daisies back, like just literally snip them off the stems or just pop the top off. Like I noticed on my, what do you call these, geraniums, that you can just pop off the thing. the stem. Where'd my stamp set go? And are you guys just like laughing? So like you can pop this, you know, like the bloom, you can pop it off at the base of the stem and it just sort of pops off and then more keep growing. That's what I found anyway. Okay. So I just want to take this and kind of create some ground for my pot to sit on. So to do that, I'm actually going to take my Stampin' Blends. And, ooh, that's not the one I want. This is. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to take this gray granite and just kind of build a little bit of a ledge, so to speak, on here. Then I'm blending this with some light. And then I'm actually going to take my color lifter, which was out here. Oh, color lifter, where did you go? Here we are. And this will just kind of blend. Because what I'm going for is that it's just kind of fades out. Okay, and then this will dry a little bit later. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to set that pot on here. Okay, now I'm going to stamp my imagery in some coordinating ink, and you can kind of see from my experiments ahead of time what this all looked like. So I'm going to start with this. I've got some garden green ink, and I'm going to stamp my detailed leaves. By the way, this image right here is like my favorite of this whole set, and I don't totally know why, but I love it. Okay, so this is garden green ink on Granny Apple Green cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is take my Granny Apple Green ink and add this kind of detail. Okay, and I should be doing all of this on my Pierce mat because there's that stupid lump in my desk. So let me pull this out real quick for my stamping. Okay, so isn't that fun? Now at first I wasn't sure if I liked this. So then I did it Granny Apple Green stamped off for this layer and then full strength for the detail. And I didn't like that. There wasn't enough contrast. I liked this one the best. So I die cut that and it looks like this. It's so pretty. Then I also wanted to stamp my flowers. So I have a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock. And I'm going to take the kind of solid flowers, the background flowers, and I'm going to stamp that in some Melon Mambo ink stamped off. Okay, so we'll stamp off a layer of these. Oh, I'll just stamp it off on my cardstock here, and then we'll stamp it down. Okay, so that's pretty light, but I like it. Then I'm going to take some real red and do the detail over the top. Now, I could have, by the way, tips for lining this up, I don't know if I even did, I did not, is to take, there's the little dots in the center of these flowers. You can line up with the dots in the center of the solid image. You can actually see it, but because I'm doing this through the camera, it's not working very well, but don't worry. Here's one I did already, okay? So I've die cut that piece. And then I also die cut for myself this little garden pick. And there is like a whole piece that you can stamp on there, but I'm going to leave it as is. And I'm going to stamp just the little teeny words that say just for you on here. And I'll do that in gray granite ink, of course, on my gray granite cardstock. Okay. And Boom. Just for you. So cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. Let's get rid of all these ink pads because this is just itching for a situation to brew. Okay. Almost done. Still have a couple more out and open. Like I said, I've made a pretty good sized mess today. Okay. So let's put all this together. Now you can see our ground has kind of dried to fade out, which I love that look. My pot looks just like the pot that I've got my flowers in outside. I think I'm going to, well, I'll pop it up. Why not? We'll pop this pot up, and I'm kind of putting my dimensionals kind of in the center almost, leaving some room up top so we can stick stuff in our pot, you know? So our stems and whatnot will fit in there. Okay, and then we'll eventually add our pick, but we've got some other good stuff to put in here. So I've kind of taken this and I'm curling my leaves because, you know, they got to be dimensional. We'll pop these up as well. And then I'm going to have it sit so that some of the leaves are outside. You can see they're sticking out from the pot as they would in real life. Okay. And then I've got my bright pop of color in these beautiful flowers. Oh, I just love them. And I'm actually going to kind of stick them behind. Okay, and for these, I will attach them directly to my card. Like so. And actually, I think I want them, no, like this. Okay. Like that. All right. Then I can add in my little pick, kind of like that on top there. And I think it looks kind of fun. I will attach this with 2 glue dots stacked on top of one another because that will be almost like it's got a mini dimensional in terms of how much it's popping it up. Not too high, but not too low. Okay, so there's my Just For You. Now, what's wonderful about this stamp set is there's all kinds of sentiments that come with it. There's also a little label for that sentiment. Here, I have a couple of these die cut. And so we can add this to our card, kind of going off the side if we want, depending on the sentiment that we choose. So like I said, there's lots of different sentiments. There's a birthday, reaching out with friendship and caring, wishing you happiness today and always, for the lifetime of love you've given me. That would be like, go with thank you. Here for you every step of the way. So there's lots of different sentiments, and then of course these little words. But I'm thinking reaching out with friendship and caring might be good. If I can find it. Oh, actually, I don't want that one. I'm going to go wishing you happiness today and always. Or no. Yeah. Yes. Final answer. Sorry. I was trying to find a sentiment that would fit so that I could cut part of this label off. That's all. Okay. So I'm going to stamp that in my gray granite ink as well. Okay, there we have it. And we can kind of position this on here so that I can cut. Actually, I could leave it like that because it's going to sit on my card like this. Okay, now on that last card, we did something that I liked, which was, we kind of did this a little bit. I like the burnishing of this. So again, I'm just dragging my scissors across here, my Stampin' my snips, and I've got a little fluff, but I like the look that it creates on here. Ooh, that's looking good. Okay. And then somebody mentioned some splatter, and maybe we could do that. Let's adhere this first. Like so. I'm going to hide my label, and then we're going to splatter. Let's see if I can find my gray granite marker. Is this it? Oh, it is. Yay. Okay, and then because I don't really want splatter on here per se, I'm going to take, I could take some masking paper, but I happen to have this handy. So I can just kind of cover it up like that. There we go. There's my makeshift mask. And then I'm gonna spritz this. There we go. Oh, that looks great. And then where did my label go? Here we go. I'm gonna put this on here, popped up. And I think we're gonna add a little bit of gray granite ribbon to this. Let's see here. We've got this pretty little gray granite ribbon. And I think I'll just do a loop. Kind of like this. On here, and I think I'm going to make it a little smaller so the loop just sticks out. And there we go. We're going to affix said loop on here like so. And then add this on the top. I'm going to trim those ends just a touch. Got to move it down just a skosh. Oh my gosh. It's getting so late. My family's probably dying of hunger. Okay. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love this. Oh, so fun. Okay, so that was with the geranium set. Now I feel like we could embellish, just, you know, we could throw a little embellishment on here. It needs something. I mean, every card deserves a little something something, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to put a couple pearls right here, and then maybe another one right there and there. Oh, so pretty. So there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at what we created today. A mess, so I can tell you that. We created a mess and then some cards. Okay, so here is our geranium card. I just love this. I wish my pot wasn't kind of off, but I like it still. Then we did this card with the Better Days stamp set, which I can't decide if I like or not. Then we did these 4 cards. Y'all said you liked this version number 4 best. Personally, my favorite was number 1. And then there was also 2, and 3. I didn't make these into full cards, but I'll do that and take pictures. So anyway, so there you have all of the projects from today. Of course, if you loved these, if you could give me the thumbs up, that would be so awesome. And of course, if you need any of these supplies, I'd be so grateful for your business. I am trying to hit a pretty big sales goal here in the next couple of months, and every single order definitely makes a difference. Again, if you would like to participate in any of my classes, by the way, when you register for a class, that helps me reach my sales goal as well, because my class packets, they all come with Stampin' Up! Products in them. So that also helps me. So if there's any of the classes I mentioned that you'd like to join us, join me with, for, whatever, I'd be so grateful. I promise I may not be able to get the words out in my lives, but my projects rock. So anyway, thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. I hope you loved our projects, and I will not be here next week. It'll be the 4th of July, and I will be on vacay with my fam, but I will see you the week after that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Also, more videos are coming this week, so watch my channel for that. Thanks, guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.